By the end of this easy exercise, you will officially be a game designer. This exercise comes from the excellent Linda course, Game Design Foundations 1 with Brenda Romero. Linda is included with your library card, and we highly recommend checking out this course if you have the time. For this exercise, we're going to create a racer-style game. Racers refer to games with a board that is moved around by the players. These can vary a bit, but you've probably played one. Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, Sorry, and even Monopoly in the Game of Life are built around racer mechanics. Roll a dice, spin a wheel, play a card, and then move that far. Sometimes something happens after you move too, like falling down a chute, buying a railroad, or getting married. The central mechanic of the game, though, is moving along a fixed track, either in a loop or to reach an endpoint first. Let's break down the steps to build a racer of our own. The basic mechanics at play here will be board movement and race to the end.
Draw a track. Don't worry about spaces yet. Just draw out a parallel series of lines. Make sure to have room for a game piece, like a penny. If you're working with paper, I recommend using ink for this part and letting it dry. Don't match my example exactly at any point. This is just to show the steps. You want this racer to be your own.
Decide where you want your start and end points to be, like so.
Add some spaces. They don't need to be even or anything, just leave room for that penny. With the step and all the ones following, it can be worth using pencils so you can revise more easily.
Decide on movement and test it out. Die rolling is an easy mechanic to use, so we'll go with that for this example.
Think of your theme and add some additional rules to support it. You probably found that a track of just spaces wasn't very interesting. Even Chutes and Ladders has its own special rules, so let's add a few special spaces. This would be an example of the board space abilities mechanic. I'm going to go with a pretty simple theme to start out. Let's say birds headed south for the winter. How about back arrow means you go back a space because of a cracked egg. The plus sign lets you roll again because the early bird gets the worm. And cancel means you lose a turn because the bird is hiding from a predator. Anything else you can think of would be fun. For our example, we're trying to keep things simple, but definitely be as creative and fun with it as you'd like.
Playtest. Get some other people, or throw down some more change if you're alone, and test it with multiple players. How does it play with more people? Run through it a few more times and see what you like and don't like. More people give you more variables to test the gameplay with. Don't be afraid to just experiment. For example, what if you add new types of spaces or multiple dice rather than just one? How about different types of dice?
Revise. How did adding some additional rules to some spaces change the flow of the game? Did it make it better or worse? Would changing the locations of these spaces improve the game?
Finalize. After step 6, you either need to repeat steps 5 and 6, or if you're happy with what you've made, finalize the game. Congratulations, you're a game maker. You'll notice in the example here, we put a cancel symbol on the 6th space and a plus on the first one. This was intentional, to let those with a very slow start and a very fast start even out a bit before the second half of the race. I also spaced out the third plus sign far enough from the one before it so it wasn't possible to go from plus sign to plus sign and win in one go. These are elements to think about when designing a game, but also ones that will probably get caught with playtesting.
And now you've done it. You've created your very first game. You're a game designer now.